Self-awareness doesn't equal perfection, Many people always assume that once you wake up to self-awareness, then life becomes smooth. Huh? Problems disappear, and then you live in a calm state forever. My friend, that is a myth. Huh? In reality, self-awareness removes illusions. It clears away denial, it clears away excuses, and even projections. And in that raw clarity, you start to see complexities that were always there but hidden. You know, you no longer stumble blindly. You walk with eyes open, and that means every obstacle is seen in full detail. And clarity brings complicated challenges. You know, when unconscious, you deal with surface level problems. They hurt me, or I'm broke. Life is unfair. But when you're self-aware, you see layers. Not just I'm broke, but I sabotage money because I tie worth to survival. Not just they hurt me, but I attracted this pattern because I confuse love with validation. Not just life is unfair, but life is mirroring my inner misalignment back to me. This depth is heavier, but also more transformative. You need to understand life is in phases. And each phase is harder, but more fulfilling. The higher the phase, the harder it is, but more fulfilling. Think of it like climbing a mountain. There's that phase one, the survival base camp. Now, in that phase, problems are like, paying bills, just the surface level problems, finding acceptance, getting stability. It is a hard place. Yes, it is hard, but it is simple. And most people always get comfortable here. Now, phase two, this is the awareness. This is the middle ground. The problems that come with phase two is confronting your childhood wounds, reprogramming your beliefs, breaking societal conditioning. Now, this phase is harder because it requires emotional labor and accountability. Then now you go to phase three. This is the summit. It's called the alignment. Now, the problems in this phase three, this is past now the awareness. In the alignment, the problems are about building an authentic path. It is about saying no to misaligned opportunities. It is about holding boundaries, not creating boundaries. You've already done that in the self-awareness phase. He is about holding those boundaries and carrying responsibility for legacy. This is the hardest phase because you're not just surviving, you are creating consciously. But now this is where fulfillment lives. Like an example in relationships. In the unaware phase, this is the survival base camp. You blame your partner. You assume all relationships are hard. Then now you end up settling for a toxic cycle. In the awareness phase, you realize the problem is not just your partner. It is your fear of abandonment, your lack of boundaries, your need for healing. And that's a harder truth. In the aligned phase, you start attracting relationships that reflect growth, authenticity, and even truth. And those relationships demand more maturity and emotional discipline. But they also give deep fulfillment. Self-awareness won't make life easier. It will make it real. And reality is layered. It is demanding and very complex. But it is also where meaning, freedom, and fulfillment live. The unaware self lives in numb comfort. But the aware self lives in sharp clarity. The aligned self lives in deep fulfillment. Each phase of awareness asks more of you. More courage, more responsibility, more truth, But in return, it gives you something survival can never give. A life that feels deeply lived, not just endured. My people, heal. Heal.